Hey, everybody, give it up for Louis Cato and the Late Show Man. Coming up in just a little bit, we got from the new hit show, The Pit, Noah Wiley will be here. Everybody's talking Pit. And the very funny, from FX's new series, Dying for Sex, Jenny Slate is here. Very funny Jenny Slate right there. But first, before we do any of that, we got a lot of talented people who work here on the show. One of them is a young man named Felipe Torres Medina. He's one of my writers, originally from Colombia. He is an immigrant to the United States, and he has a new humor book. It is called America, Let Me In, Choose Your Immigration Story. It's a choose-your-own-adventure about coming to America. Learn it, laugh, learn. There you go.
Come on, Felipe.
Folks, I spend most of my time right over there in the news workshop, cutting and shaping the most topical news spruce into an arch-top body with a Venetian cutaway and a custom inlaid headstock with an ebony fingerboard, a 5-ply bound tortoise pickguard, and patent number stamped humbucker 7.5K pickups to create for you the iconic Gibson L5 CES jazz guitar that is my nightly monologue. But sometimes, folks, just sometimes after huffing amyl nitrate poppers in a wrecking yard, I rip the wiring out of a 78 Ford Fairmont and string them on a busted running board and prance around the yard plucking the tweaker fiddle of news that is my segment. I could do it all night long. I could watch that graphic all night long. Meanwhile, beloved country legend Dolly Parton says her new line of jeans called Joleans will make any butt look good. I'm sure they're great pants. But I want to point out, Jolene is not the hero of that song. Weird choice to name your clothing item after a famous villain. Clearly, Dolly has forgotten the poor sales of Volda shorts. It was good. It was good.
Wow.
The man does not skip leg day. Meanwhile, in Easter-related inflation news, Easter eggs are so expensive, Americans are dying potatoes. Are we great again yet? This is just sad. As a nation, we have drifted so far from the true meaning of Easter. A giant trespassing rabbit with a cloaca that lays brightly colored eggs. If you're dying a potato, it's like none of that means anything. Meanwhile, on a recent episode of her show, Drew Barrymore revealed that Mr. Clean makes her uncomfortable because he's so sexual. Look, that's how I get it, man. That's how I feel about... That's how I feel about the scrub daddy. Scrub me, daddy. Meanwhile, in high-calorie violence news, police in North Carolina say a machete-wielding cinnamon bun bandit was caught after he had stolen a cinnamon bun and incense. Officers say they quickly located the suspect, who matched to the description and was eating a cinnamon bun. That is, gotta say, that is pretty compelling evidence. Plus, didn't help that his neck tattoo said, "I used a machete to steal a cinnamon bun and incense." Meanwhile, in preparation for their upcoming Blue Origin trip, Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez have vowed to go glam, which will mark the first time anyone has ever journeyed to space in full glam. But it's not the first time astronauts have gotten a little pre-mission glow-up. We all remember this moment.
That's one small step for man, and way too much bronzer for Buzz. Blend, girl!
Meanwhile, a Florida couple were busted having sex on a grave in a locked cemetery, or as they call it in Florida, the honeymoon. What I'm hearing is they did the mash. They did the monster mash. They did the mash. It was a graveyard smash. Meanwhile...
Come on.
Meanwhile, a volcano in southwestern Iceland erupted on Tuesday, prompting evacuations. The New York Post shared this footage. That's incredible. Not because of the lava, because of that soothing spa meditation music they put over. It reminds me of that footage from the Hindenburg.
Breathe in. Oh, the serenity.
Meanwhile, news from the wide world of world records because a Minnesota cat's 18.5-inch tail has earned a Guinness World Record. 18.5 inches. And remember, Minnesota is very cold.
Wow.
Meanwhile, a Texas woman unexpectedly went into early labor while running errands at her local Walmart, which is why they've updated their slogan from "Save money, live better" to "Keep pushing, I can see the head." Meanwhile, news from Philadelphia, the Boston of Pennsylvania, because Will Smith has gotten his own street in Philly. Yeah! Fans of the Fresh Prince can now cruise down the honorary "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth" boulevard. We'll be right back with Noah Wiley.